What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Anthony Sain Show. This is, of course, your host, Anthony Sain. Here with my guy, man, Kenny Stubblefield is in the building. Kenny, what's going on, my brother?
My brother, let me tell you something. Has a 10-degree cool-off ever felt any better to you
Oh, man, who you telling?
in the weather?
Who you telling, bro?
It's crazy.
Yeah, it actually feels pretty good outside, for sure.
And then tomorrow, like, have you seen the weather for the rest of the month?
No, I haven't.
It's like 80s and going down into the 60s at night.
But you know, these kids get ready to go back to school, man, so it's about to cool off in a minute anyway.
Yeah, I feel you.
You know what I'm excited about, man? I've only killed maybe 2 or 3 flies this entire summer in my apartment, as opposed to, I know, hey, this is not as rough as a year for flies as it's been the last couple of summers. Like,
no, it's not. It's not as bad. You're right.
Yeah, it was ignorant around this mug a couple years ago. I only killed like 2 or 3 this whole summer, so knock on wood or knock on whatever. Shout out to that. But we are here for the Anthony Sain Show. Episode 111, man. You go backwards, it's the same thing. 111 is in the house today. We are having a very special guest, man. We are in the thick of things of the NBA Summer League, man. And one of the greatest players so far in the Summer League, outside of Zach Edey, of course, and his one perfect game he had, is a young man by the name of Reed Sheppard. Of course, you know him. Plays for Houston Rockets. Been going crazy, man. Going crazy. We're bringing on a man who I know can tell you all about Reed Sheppard, can tell you all about this Houston Rockets team. A team I got my eye on out there in the West, man. I ain't gonna lie. They looking good, man. They looking good. I ain't gonna lie.
They're looking so good. Like, we've talked about this off air. They could make some moves that really they could get rid of some guys that they don't need anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like that are kind of.
But the guy who's coming on for the sit down was saying, my man, Will Forson, man. He covers the Houston Rockets. He's the Rocket Spaces guy. He's also got a show, I think it's called Bradeaux Will. I think they have a podcast that they do.
I'll link it in the description. We'll put it down there.
Yeah. He's gonna be joining me today. Man, I'm telling you, hang around, check it out. It's gonna be a good interview with me and him. Also, a couple things going in the world of sports. There once was a debate about Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese, who will be the Rookie of the Year. My girl Caitlin Clark is kind of she kind of stretching that thing out now because she had to. And I told people, I said, right now it's close, but all it takes is for Caitlin to go crazy, have a stretch going crazy, and Angel will get up out of here. We will not talk about Angel Reese's viral photograph. I feel like I was ahead of the curve on that one. My nasty sister beat that out way before y'all did.
The bloodline text thread has been off the charts these last couple of days.
That's part of our brotherhood, man. We won't tell y'all who the bloodline is. Y'all may be able to figure it out by the way that we interact on Twitter or just guys that we mentioned during the show. But yeah, we've been having fun over there in the group chat for sure. Yeah, man. But we're definitely gonna talk about that. And more
over nasty.
Yeah, it's been over nasty for sure. I want to talk some Grizzlies Summer League, but I'm gonna talk a little bit about it now, Kenny Stubblefield, and I'm gonna leave the rest in the 3-pointer. I'm gonna talk about Zach Edey in the 3-pointer because at the time we're recording the show, we're still waiting on the Zach Edey medical update for tonight. So I don't want to talk too quick, right? So I'm gonna chill on that one, right? So I'm hoping that by the time we get to that segment, and after our guest is done, we'll be able to. I'll have an update for you on Zach Edey that I can talk about with you guys. But I will talk about this Scotty Pippen Jr. He's been great. A lot of people who are watching the Grizzlies or who are there, whether it be national media, local media, are saying that he's a guy who's if you want to say he's been the best player on the team, you know, who would argue with you? You know what I mean? Scotty Pippen's been incredible. You guys have seen him. He's been knocking down shots from 3. He's been able to score off the dribble. And his defense has been absolutely phenomenal, getting multiple steals in every game.
He's not good at defense, though.
Yes, right. Not a good defender. I've heard that so many times, bro. I think why people are saying that now that I've really looked into it and heard other people say it too that aren't like Grizzlies related is that coming out of college there was a knock on him that he couldn't defend. But he's really turned himself into a good defender in the G League. And so
he's kind of little. Let's be frank about it. He's kind of little, right? Like, so he's not going to be like that guy that you look at and go, wow, he's a lengthy wing defender, right? But
he's a little guy. And for people who are fans of guys like Mike Conley, he reminds you. I mean, we get a lot of he's a little Tyus. No, I've said this before. He's more of a poor man's Mike Conley and everything because the guy that you're describing to be a little Tyus ain't Tyus Jones. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's much more. He reminds me so much more of Mike Conley than he does Tyus Jones. But I woke up this morning about 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. Just had this on my mind. Had Scotty Pippen Jr. on my mind, man. He's like I see, he's a good guard, very good player. A guy who came out of Vanderbilt, was not a highly heralded player. Has his father's DNA, one of the top 75 players of all time. Has his dad's DNA for sure. But was not a heralded player coming out of high school. Was not even a top college player. He turned it up.
Yeah.
Kind of a late bloomer, kind of like a Zach Edey type guy who cut it up his junior and senior years. I think he played 4 years. But anyway, and now you see him in the league. He went to the Lakers organization, didn't really pan out there. And the Grizzlies signed him last year and added him on a 2-way contract. But the thing about Scottie Pippen is that a lot of people are really saying, okay, he's earned his keep now at the end of the season last year. And now with the summer league, and he deserves a spot on this team, all this type of things. And for those of you who don't know, the Grizzlies have a very tight roster situation. There's one open spot, which is likely going to Luke Kennard. That's probably 80-90% happening, right? And the Grizzlies are also trying to move off of a guy like Zaire Williams, whether that's a 1-for-1 trade where the Grizzlies get back the draft rights to somebody, or they trade them into somebody's trade exception or something like that. The Grizzlies are trying to totally move Zaire Williams off the roster, and I'm not sure they're trying to get anything back unless you're doing like a 2-for-2 trade or something. But I don't think they're trying to get – I think they're trying to clear that money off, right?
Yeah.
But unless that happens, you don't have another roster spot. So a guy like Scottie Pippen Jr. would still be on that 2-way contract, as he should be, right? So I put out a tweet today, Kenny Stubblefield. I'm going to read some of the details of it, and I'll get into even more details. Very detailed tweet. I said, I was up at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning, Kenny, and I said, Father God, guide me. Actually, I put this in at 8:15, but I was talking about the whole Scottie Pippen Jr. thing, and I went to sleep on it. When I woke up, I said, Father God, guide me. Give me a tweet that can educate your people on why they need to relax with the Scottie Pippen Jr. shit, right? So here's the tweet, Kenny Stubblefield. I said that the most minutes that Tyus Jones ever played as a member of the Memphis Grizzlies was 24.2. And this is in the 22-23 season, right? Which is also his last season here. That was on a team that had Ja Morant, Desmond Bane. They got Luke Kennard at the deadline.
Right.
And also had Dillon Brooks on it, and who was definitely a wing. And other wings like Zaire Williams, David Roddy, Jake LaRavia, right? These are the other guards. These are other wings that are on that team, right? So because of your lack of wing depth, you had a lot of units that had Tyus Jones and Ja Morant playing in the backcourt to try to get the most minutes out of Tyus Jones. Because if Ja's playing 30, 35 minutes a game, that means you have anywhere between 13 to 18 backup point guard minutes, right? So to get him more minutes, they would play him with Ja. You understand what I'm saying? This season, on the other end, Kenny Stubblefield, you have Ja Morant, you have Desmond Bane, you have Luke Kennard, who's healthy now, who's a definite player who's going to be in your rotation. You also have Marcus Smart on this team, Kenny Stubblefield, who's going to be the guy who's going to play 25, 30 minutes per game, right? And you have Vince Williams, who you probably want to play 25, 30 minutes as well. Whether Vince Williams starts or he doesn't start, he's going to get minutes at the 2 and at the 3, and sometimes at the 1, just to maximize the amount of minutes you can get for your top guys, right? And I think that the thing that people don't understand is if it's very simple. I'm not trying to act like people are dumb, but if Scottie Pippen Jr. is getting minutes, that means that somebody out of that group of guys I just named won't be getting minutes. His minutes are coming from those guys' pals.
Right.
And yes, I had a guy say, man, I hear what you're saying, but we've always had, a guard like Tyus behind Ja. And I said, no, we've only had Tyus Jones behind Ja. We've had no other backup point guard behind Ja Morant. He's the only one. He's the only one who's been on while Ja's actually been playing, like not suspended, not injured. Tyus Jones is the only point guard he's ever played with. So we don't know if something else will work or not, because there's been no example of it. You know what I mean? And I just think that the most logical thing that will happen is that the Grizzlies will use Scottie Pippen Jr. as an emergency guard, where if Ja's hurt, Scottie Pippen Jr. pops up, right? He won't start. He'll be the backup. And Marcus Smart will probably start. Desmond Bane will start at the 1. And you'll have you'll get Scottie Pippen Jr. backup point guard minutes then if Ja has an injury or Ja rest or whatever. If you have back-to-back games and you need to sit Marcus Smart, you need to sit Vince Williams, you need to sit Desmond Bane, they'll call Scottie Pippen Jr. up to add guard depth to the rotation. If it's just a rest night where you guys just been, guys need some rest, Scotty Pippen and his two-way contract will be active on those nights, right?
Right.
He's not going to be a guy who's on your 15-man rotation. They're not going to like move draft picks to get rid of Zaire Williams or stretch provision Zaire Williams just to get Scotty Pippen Jr. on this roster. That's just not happening. Because that's just not what's going to happen. I see people there say, "Oh, we gotta have a backup point guard." I did this a little bit more upset, and I think the people didn't really want to hear me because some of you. But you don't need a very good point guard when your point guard is one of the best in the NBA. Because guess what? You want that guy on the court. You want that elite level point guard on the court. I don't want him sitting down. And when I say that, I know Ja has to sit, but he's going to play 30 to 35 minutes. There are 48 minutes at the point guard position. If Ja plays 30, that means there's 18 left over. If he plays 35, that means there's 13 left over. So there's 13 to 18 minutes of the point guard position available. And I want Ja to play all those. I don't want him sitting while Scotty Pippen Jr. is in the game, right? God bless him. He's been great. But I'd rather see Ja out there, right? And I want to see Marcus Smart on the court. I want to see Vince Williams. I want to see Luke Kennard. I want to see Desmond Bain. I don't want any of those guys sitting down so Scotty Pippen Jr. can play point guard. If we're talking about 13 to 18 minutes a game, and I think they'll be fine. And that doesn't mean I don't think Scotty Pippen's a great player. I think he's a great asset. I think he'll be great for this team. But I just think people have to look at things realistically. He's not going to be in your 15-man rotation. And I've seen people say, well, get rid of Derrick Rose. That's not happening.
That's not happening.
I'm telling you, that's not happening.
I have a question for you about that. DeMichael was on the show with us last week, and he mentioned the idea of Derrick being kind of that emergency backup point guard because he's already on that 15-man roster. Don't you think he already fulfills that role?
I think it's two situations. If there's an in-game situation where you need another point guard, Derrick Rose is there.
Right.
But I think there'll be games where the Grizzlies say, okay, we're going to rest guys. Or Ja's hurt or Bain's hurt.
Right.
They'll make Scotty Pippen Jr. active on those nights. And he'll be the backup point guard.
He'll be kind of
Derrick Rose will be the truly emergency point guard. If Scotty Pippen Jr. is not on the roster, if he's not available.
So if we're talking hierarchy, you've got starting point guard, backup point guard, emergency point guard. Derrick Rose is going to be that emergency point guard, no matter who it is. It's the two spots above him, right?
Right, because if one of your point guards is out, that means that Scotty Pippen
moves into that backup role.
Right. But we won't truly have a backup point guard. We'll have guys who are combo guards who are just by committee. And we won't be the only team that does that, though, bro. Like most teams do that. Most teams don't have a true backup point guard that comes into the game for them. He's usually some guy that's a combo guard. And sometimes it's the starting shooting guard who comes in to relieve the point guard. And if Marcus Smart starts at the 3, which he probably will, when I say 3, I mean like third guard, not particularly small forward. He will be if he starts, they're running a 3-guard system. And he's basically guarding the best perimeter player. So it's clear that he's not a small forward. But if he starts, a simple thing that'll probably happen, 12-minute quarter.
Yeah.
Marcus Smart plays. He subs out around minute 4.
Oh, you think that early? Okay.
Probably somewhere between 4 and 6, right?
4 and 6, yeah.
Yeah. He comes out. Then Vince Williams comes in, right? Or Gigi or whoever comes in at the 3.
Right.
Ja comes out at either the 8-minute mark or the 10-minute mark.
10-minute mark. Yeah.
Smart comes back in to be the backup point guard after he's rested.
Right.
And you just keep that cycle going. Like it's really not that hard to understand. And Marcus Smart would be your first guy that would sub out.
Yeah.
Right. And it works.
Yeah.
A lot of teams do it. Like there are teams who their backup point guard is their starting shooting guard. Like there's a lot of teams, that's what they do. And it's like go ahead.
I got 2 points on this. You look at the roster and you look at the guys that are on the 15-man roster right now.
It's a lot of versatile dudes.
There's so many versatile guys. You've got Marcus Smart, who has been a starting point guard, starting ball distributor for a team that has gone to the Eastern Conference Finals 2 straight. I mean, he's obviously a guy who can handle that role. That's number one. Then you've got Desmond Bain, who he can absolutely transition over to the ball handling duties. He can absolutely do that if you need to. And Vince Williams could do the same thing. He did it last year.
Right.
Throughout that's one of the main things that we saw with him is defense and playmaking. That was what he was really, really good at.
And something else that Marcus Smart is really good at, for real? I bet you he can make entry passes to Zach Edey. And I bet you if he's in a 2-man game with Zach Edey, he knows how to use a big man.
He can do that.
Yeah.
I saw an interview with Scotty Pippen Jr. after, I think, the last summer league game, and the lady asked him, the reporter asked him, what are you proving?
Fire, by the way, Ken.
Huh? It does look like it's on fire. I hadn't even noticed that. But the reporter asked him, what do you think you've proven? And he said, I think I've proven that I belong in this league. And I would say to that, yes, you have.
He does.
He absolutely belongs in this league. It may not be with the Grizzlies, and that's okay, right? Like, it may not be, but he is doing a fantastic job of proving that he belongs. It's the economics of the situation. It's the way that the roster has been set up. He might not work on this team, not because he's not a hell of a player, but because it just doesn't work for this team, right? And so that's where it is kind of wild to me, because I'm like, I know Marcus was hurt a lot last year, but man, guys, like, let's not forget Marcus Smart is on this team.
Right. He's very good.
And Marcus is a very good player. And if you have to make me choose between Scotty Pippen Jr. and Marcus Smart to fulfill the role that you think that Scotty Pippen Jr. can do,
I'm picking Marcus Smart.
I'm taking Marcus Smart every day.
Right.
Every day.
Right. Because when the games get regular, when the regular season starts,
right,
Scotty Pippen ain't going to look like he's looking against Boogie Ellis, you know what I mean?
But even if he does, he looked good last year when he played for the Grizzlies. He looked fine. He did. But even if he does come in and do that, great. I'm still taking Marcus Smart.
Yeah, just how the game works. Yeah, exactly. Well, man, we're gonna take a break, man. We're gonna talk about somebody who's cold as shit. That's Reed Shepherd. We're gonna talk about the Houston Rockets. My man Will Forson joins us. If you follow anything Houston Rockets on Twitter, you definitely know who he is. Super smart guy, man. Real cool dude. We're going to chop it up with him in a minute. When we come back on Anthony Sain Show, see you guys in a minute.
Zach Edey hasn't played in a while. A minor ankle soreness, which I don't understand why we even said he had minor ankle soreness. It's summer league. You don't have to even announce any injuries. Just say he's not playing. Would have made me feel better. And they're supposed to do things that make me feel better, because now every game that he misses is bothering me. But the rest of the team's been great. Scotty Pippen was great. Trey Jemison was great. Jake LaRavia was great. Gigi was really good. I mean, Cam Spencer was good. I mean, all the guys that you want to be good have been good this summer league, even with Edey not on the floor.
We always talked about last year that it was a tough year in terms of, yes, games lost with the injuries. But the positive that came out of it was guys got a chance to get meaningful NBA minutes that could impact going towards next year. And it's nice to see those guys continue to build on what they finished with.
Tune in to the Night Court Podcast with your hosts, Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight, on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
NCAA college football 25 released on the day that we are recording it, released at 3 p.m. Christian, you said you've been playing it all afternoon. Christian, give us your first initial thoughts.
First initial thoughts. Blissful joy would be initially. I pressed the button, turn it on, and we're back. It's like I just got transported back to my 15, 16-year-old.
Like, were you a little giddy? Were you like, did you get like shivers? Like,
yeah, it was just like
chills.
Like a kid again, dude. I haven't booted up a new college football game in, what is it? 10 11 years.
Yeah.
10, 11 years. So, I mean, I was 15, 16 years old when the last one came out.
Crazy. Tune in to On the Bluff with Christian Fowler and Gabe Kuhn every Tuesday at 12 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. United Way of the Mid-South and 901 FC are teaming up to gather school supplies for students and teachers in Memphis Shelby County schools. We invite you to join us in our Stuff the Bus initiative. Bring new school supplies to the 901 FC versus San Antonio FC game on Saturday, July 27th at 7:30 p.m. Donate notebooks, pens, pencils, crayons, and much more. Or you can contribute by texting UW Schools to 41444 to make a monetary donation.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Anthony Sain Show. Got a very special guest today. You've seen this young man probably doing this thing on Twitter. Big Houston Rockets fan. He covers the team as well. Has a great podcast as well, man. The Bradeaux Will Show, which you can catch wherever you listen to podcasts. My man Will Forson joins the show. Will, what's going on, brother?
What's good with you, man? Chilling.
Good. We also know you from you run the Houston Rockets Spaces on Twitter, and I dip in anonymously often. Especially during the season, man, with you guys being the team that where Dylan Brooks landed. And whenever we would see you guys lose a game and it was because of Dylan, I would run to Twitter to see what my man Will has to say about one Villain Brooks, Dylan the villain, so to speak. Little fun fact about that as well, man. I actually started the Dylan the villain stuff his rookie year. And it was kind of dormant for a while, then it took off. Then I sell T-shirts too. I had Dylan the Villain T-shirts, and them joints went crazy. But I just stand in the back. I ain't a fame chasing dude. Plus, I ain't trying to get sued. So you know how it is, man. But shout out to Dylan, the guy who sold me many T-shirts over the years, man, and it gave me many comedic and entertainment moments. That's something we definitely can say about Dylan. But we'll talk about Dylan now. But I do want to talk about Houston. And you guys in the draft and what you guys look like going forward. You guys, of course, took the Steve Nash reincarnated himself, the next white Steph Curry, some people are calling him, Reed Shepherd, who's been absolutely amazing so far in the Summer League. What are your thoughts? I already know your thoughts. You're somebody who stood out amongst anybody and was saying that Houston should take Reed Shepherd. Let's go with him. He's going to be the man. I've seen you tweet, a lot about him over the last few months, going back to, the lottery or whatever. So what did you see in him in the beginning, and what do you think about what you see now?
What initially attracted me to Reed Shepherd from the jump was just, I don't want to just label him a shooter because he's much more than that, but that's like the easiest baseline and kind of look at his skill set and say he's really good at shooting. He's one of the best, if not the best shooting prospect in the last couple of drafts. And then you look at the Houston Rockets, and we're a team that I believe finished bottom third in 3-point percentage last season. And that was one of the biggest reasons why we ultimately fell short of our goals last season, because we didn't, our offense wasn't as good as our defense was. And the huge reason our offense wasn't that good is because we couldn't hit threes. So going into the draft, I already ruled out anybody who couldn't shoot threes. So I was kind of not going, kind of chill on like the Stephon Castles and the Ron Hollins, maybe a little bullish on Buzelis, but even kind of somewhat kind of out on him as well. And then, Reed obviously can shoot. He comes in, his defense is still, it's not necessarily he's not necessarily a POA stopper, but active hands on that end. He tries, he fights on that end, which is obviously going to fit in well with Ime Udoka, who's a defensive-minded coach. He makes the right play with the ball, whether it's in his hands or not in his hands, he's looking to make the right play. And so just in terms of what we were building in Houston and, trying, like I said, not only just lay that defensive foundation, but good team basketball, we needed spacing. I thought that, it almost, didn't make sense to draft anyone. It didn't, to me, I know that Klingon was a guy y'all were looking at too. And I'm like,
allegedly.
I don't think it makes sense to bring Klingon in Houston. We got Shingun as the center spot. No one else even made sense. So I was also I was equally as high on Reed as I was none of these other guys even make sense in Houston. So I'm glad we got him.
What are your thoughts on Coach Ime Udoka? He's going to his second year with you guys. Of course, he took Boston Celtics to the NBA Finals. Had, of course, the controversy. Got with you guys. You guys were playing amazing when the season first started. Kind of tailed off. Ended up being right outside of the playoff situation. What are your thoughts on Coach Ime Udoka going forward with Houston?
I think he was the right hire. We needed someone who could come in and lay the foundation down and be that vocal presence in the locker room and in practices with these guys. They needed that structure. They needed that guidance. They needed someone to kind of come in and hold them accountable. Right. And he's done that for us so far. I also think he has the ability to relate with our players. So it's not just he's just the bad guy in practice, but I know he has a relationship with the players and they trust him. They have a working dynamic between the two of them. And so, I thought that he was perfect for us in terms of just taking us from what we were before he got here to where we are right now. I think that obviously it takes more than just the coach, right? He takes the buy-in from the players, takes an amazing vet group that we brought in as well. and then everybody kind of just growing and maturing in their own worlds. But I think that a huge reason that all that even came together was because of Ime Udoka. So yeah, I couldn't ask for a better coach, honestly.
Yeah, I like him. I think he's really good for sure. You talked about big man and why you guys didn't need a Donovan Clingan in the draft. You got a really good big man over your shoulder there, and Alperin Sengun. I know you advocate for a lot as far as being an all-star out west, and you also got a guy that's familiar to Memphis, Steven Adams, a guy we traded to you guys for a couple second-round picks, and also I can't remember who it was. I got his name. I got his face in my name.
Jacques Landale.
No, it was the guard we got back. And
Oladipo?
Oladipo, yeah. We got Oladipo in that trade for you guys, who we ended up waiving. What are you guys' expectations for Steven Adams? Like, what role do you see him playing? Of course, he'll probably be your backup center. I don't think you guys are going to play two bigs. But how many minutes per game are you really expecting? What do you think you guys will get out of Steven Adams? If you have any questions for me as a Grizzlies fan and someone who's covered the Grizzlies, I can do that with you as well.
I know that they expect him to be healthy. They expect him to play. He's probably obviously he's not going to start. And he's probably not going to share the court too much, if at all, with Sengun. So I don't expect him to play more than like 15, 17 minutes a night, which at his age is probably where he needs to be anyways. He probably shouldn't be playing, 25, 30 minutes a night no more. He probably can do it in like stretches, but probably I don't think an 82 game season right now. He's coming off of I believe it's 2 season ending surgery.
Yeah. Well, the first injury he never. Just to give you the short story of it, he got a knee injury. He didn't get surgery. He tried to deal with it through some other means. He ended up needing surgery, so he had surgery, and the surgery took him out all last season. Okay. So it was kind of ugly. It was an ugly situation, kind of between him and us. So yeah, but you guys got to get a hell of a player though. You're talking about one of the best offensive rebounders in the game and screen setters in the game.
Screen setters, yep.
Yeah. So yeah, you're definitely about to get a good player with Steven Adams. Another player that I like to talk about with you guys is Jalen Green. He's kind of a man of mystery with you all. Kind of had a up and down, first couple of years, really kind of blossomed last year. But you still hear people say things like they don't know if he fits with the future of what you guys do. Where does that come from? Is it a narrative that you agree with? And what are your thoughts on Jalen Green going forward with Houston?
That narrative just comes from, we can be honest. He hasn't lived up to expectations through 3 seasons in the NBA. And I get there are different like nuances and reasons for why he has initially lived up to those expectations that I think some of which are valid, some of which are probably not. But at the end of the day, he hasn't lived up to those expectations. And it's a result-based league. And more importantly, you have to pay him next summer, right? So you didn't pay him this summer. If he's going to be a part of your team moving forward, you either have to make a decision on him before the trade deadline, or you're pretty much saying you're going to pay him, or you're losing him for nothing at that point. And so I think people are like a little questionable because like it has been 3 years, and through 3 years we've only seen like it's only been flashes. It's never been anything consistent. The closest thing we had to consistency through 3 years was last March when he averaged like 27, 28 on like 60-something true shooting. It was crazy. Right. That was really it. And like that was obviously unsustainable. Like he was playing at like some of the like best in the league. For like that was like 11 games or so like that. So for me, it's just like to me it's simple. If Jalen Green comes out next season and he breaks out, puts himself in convos with players who were drafted number 2 overall, top 3 to lead their team in scoring, he puts himself in those convos. I mean, there's no more to talk about, right? He's going to be a Houston Rocket moving forward. He's going to get paid. Like it's like he's not losing his job. None of that. Like it's going to be good. If he doesn't, I don't think he's going to be here no more. I think he's going to get traded. And I mean, at that point, it's kind of like, what more could you ask or want? You know what I'm saying? Like you did everything you could at that point to like give him a chance to break out. And if maybe he just needs to change his scenery. Maybe it's not Houston. Maybe he needs to go somewhere else where he can get a little bit more attention and they can kind of focus more on his development. But yeah, hopefully we don't even go down that path. Hopefully he just breaks out next year and he's part of the long-term plans.
My next 2 questions are pretty much in the same type of direction. I put a post out on Twitter and I said that looking at Houston's, you guys have a lot of young talent. You guys remind me a lot of us. You guys are maybe a couple years behind. You guys remind us of us a couple years ago. And what I see is a team full of young talent, great coaching, all those type of things. And my thing was with what Houston has now, especially when I saw how good Reed Sheppard was, right? I was like, with what Houston has now, I would pivot off of guys like Fred VanVleet, off of Dylan Brooks, try to get those guys off the roster. And even if it means a short step back, I can see you guys riding with your young guys, letting them develop, letting them kind of groom themselves a little bit. And I said, we see what my boy Will said. And I went on your page, you were saying something totally different. You was like, I'm not a fan of that. Like you even said anybody who doesn't want Fred VanVleet on his team doesn't really understand basketball too well. So
you put that a little bit more blunt than I said it, but yeah, nah. It for me, it's like,
do your thing.
Yeah, no, I get why people say that because, like, in traditional senses, you would like you just throw your young guys into the fire, let them grow. Like John Morant came in day one starter, like all-star by like what year 2, year 3,
year 2.
like
I think he was all-star year 2. Yeah,
yeah. So like he came in right away and just took off. And I think
playing team his first year though. They went from being lottery to playing in the first year. Yeah,
yeah. I mean, and he joined because he was after JJJ. So yeah, and y'all got Bane was what 2020? Was that what?
Yeah, Bane the next year. Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, like he kind of came into somewhat of like an existing foundation, and they kind of already had some. He was kind of just like, all right, I'm gonna push all over the top. We didn't really have that, right? We kind of didn't have a foundation at all. And watching the Rockets for the last 3 years before we signed Fred and before we signed Dylan, I mean, like I said, we can be honest. It was terrible. It was not good. Like there's tanking teams and there's what the Rockets were. We were tanking,
just a badass
team. But it was like from a visual standpoint, it looked bad. It was bad, selfish, like disorganized, like it was like we were the example of what not to do. That's what it was. And so to kind of get that out of the arena and not just like in the locker room, but also like to like the public perception of us, we needed someone to come in and kind of bring that. That's one reason why Ime Udoka was so good, because he was the complete opposite from the last coaching staff, right? And then I think Fred is the embodiment of Ime on the court, and he like I said, that disorganized, dysfunctional, just like all over the place, bunch of young guys out there running. Fred kind of was the equalizer for that, right? So we still have a bunch of young guys out there, but they're not just out there running wild, step back three in all game, and guys just getting all over the place, right? Like if the tempo starts getting too fast and we need someone to come in and like slow it down, Fred's like, all right, give me the ball, let's run this offense, run this set. We know how to execute. Let's execute. And get the results. And I think that like we needed that. And then moving forward, I don't think there's nothing wrong with just like bringing guys along slowly, right? I think that if we have a guy who like breaks out and it's like, look, like John Moran, who's like, look, this guy's way too good to not be starting and getting 30, 35 minutes a game. I think that if Fred or Dylan's in the way of that, they'll be gone. I don't think that we'll see a scenario where we have an all-star that's on the bench because Dylan's in his way. Like that's not gonna happen. I think that we're going to bring guys along, and we're gonna like one thing that Ime Udoka preaches in practice, which I love, is he preaches you earn what you get. Nothing. He's not giving nothing to nobody. So training camp comes around, the season practice comes around, whatever. If you want to start over Fred VanVleet, go earn it. Go take the spot from him. You know what I'm saying? And I think that that's a good way to develop young pieces. He's also off the books after this year anyway. So using him for one last year to provide competition in the locker room for young guys. Yeah, he's going.
He's expiring.
Yep, he's expiring after this year. And then on top of that, like we just brought in Reed, right? Reed is someone who sky high on. Obviously, think he can be really, really good one day. I don't think there's a better mentor in the league, maybe like Chris Paul for Reed Sheppard than Fred VanVleet. They're both undersized guards who need to find ways to impact the game without using their size,
athleticism and size.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying, without having to be the most athletic guy on the court. And I think if there's someone in the NBA who knows how to do that, it's Fred VanVleet. And so yeah, I do want, if nothing else, for at least half a season for Reed Sheppard to share a locker room with Fred VanVleet and kind of soak up some of that knowledge from him before we just completely transition off of it. So yeah, I'm not in the camp that we need to get rid of. And for the record, just I'll land my plane here. I'm not a Fred VanVleet fan. Like not a big Fred VanVleet guy at all. I wanted James Harden. Fred pissed me off like 20, 30 times throughout the regular season last year. But I can step back and understand like what he brought to the table and why it was like necessary to bring him on. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Yeah. When you look at the mistakes that a lot of teams have made, right? They've over gambled or they've broken up young teams and added, whether it's a Kevin Durant or they've added, whoever. We can look at Phoenix as a kind of a prime case of not to do. It seems like you picked the wrong year to go all in because now you're in this apron thing and now you're in cap hell, right? Like you literally can't do anything if you're Phoenix, right? And I saw this summer, especially around the draft, there was a lot of things pointing towards you guys and possible trades with Kevin Durant. I'm like, I'm a Grizzly fan. I'm like, no, man, don't do it. I want you guys to be our I want to see you guys come up and be our rivals, you know what I mean, in the Western Conference. And Dylan Brooks is still over there. I want to play you guys with, you know what I mean? And it's like, I want to see you guys grow organically, right? And I was like, please don't go get some dude who's about to turn 38 next year. And because to me, continuity wins over talent sometimes in the NBA. You know what I mean? Because that Boston team, keeping that core of guys together and just adding pieces around those guys, who were very good pieces, don't get me wrong. But they didn't go get Luka or nobody, you know what I mean? Like they would have got just, some guys who are basically, high-level role players on their team. And I was looking at, rumors about you guys and KD. I can't really remember where you were on that, but what are your thoughts on you guys either making a big consolidation trade for, like, I'm sure you want some level of consolidation at some point, but what would you like to see this team do? Is it a Kevin Durant type guy, or is it some other type of move you like to get you guys to the next level?
I don't to first answer like the Kevin Durant stuff. I don't believe that was
even a real thing.
Yeah, I think that was. I think what happens a lot of times in like journalism and sports reporting is people will take like something that is real, right? For example, we didn't give Alperen Sengun an extension this summer, and then we traded. Remember, we did the trade with the Nets, got the Suns picks, and so I think they say, okay, look, the Rockets haven't extended Sengun, they have extended Jalen, and they've made this trade for the Suns picks. Oh, they must be trying to go get Kevin Durant. Like they kind of like put two and two together, and it's like, well, no, like that's not what's going on. So I don't think that they're trying to trade for KD. I think that would be a horrible idea. I'm with you 100%, bro. I think that trying to trade for a 38, 39-year-old guy who's, either past his prime or going to be past his prime like really soon, I think it's a really bad idea when you're so far away from contending like we are. Like we're not a Kevin Durant away from winning a championship.
Yeah.
If we're not that, like, I don't think it's smart to trade away a bunch of draft picks.
Yeah. And young players, you guys have a bunch of really good young players. Like I said, I think it'd be crazy for y'all to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I was somebody like from the jump, like from the moment the season ended, I was like, it makes not even just for KD. Like I don't right now, because we have no expectations to win a championship like next season. Like the only thing we have to do, but the only goal we have to reach for next season is just be better than last year. That's all we got to do. Just be better than what we were last year. And I think just through natural development of the young guys, we're going, knock on wood, we're going to be healthy this year. We're getting guys back who were hurt last year. We drafted Reed, brought in Steven Adams. Like a lot of the holes that were, present last year should hopefully be resolved with Steven Adams and Reed Shepard, with guys, getting a year better. We're going, like, unless something goes wrong, we should be a better team this year. And for me, that's all you need. Like, you don't need to go out there and try to win a championship or, go to the conference finals next year. Like, that's cool. We're good. If next season goes and we just make first round, lose, I'm fine with that. Like, I don't think no one's going to look at that and say that was a bad season for the Rockets, with a bunch of guys who were in high school 2-3 years ago. Like, that's cool. Yeah. So with that in mind, like, I don't want to trade for nobody right now. And not because I think that we have a championship core. It's like, I think you have to evaluate what you have and what you need. And you don't know that until you like go out there and you see it. Like we're going to know by the end of this year, a really good idea of which one of these young guys is here for the long haul, which one of these guys isn't, what this team needs moving forward. And like, then we can take it to like address those needs. You can use the draft picks or the young pieces you want to put in trades or whatever to solve it. But trying to like go for it right now, I don't think that makes I don't think it makes no sense. Like I honestly respect. I think it's a stupid idea. So yeah. And
two young guys that we haven't really said anything about that I'll just throw out to you now that are definitely going to be a vital part of what you guys do. Two very talented guys, Cam Whitmore and Tari Eason are two young guys on your team. Give me your thoughts on those two guys and how they'll fit into the puzzle of being a better team next year.
So Tari Eason was somebody we didn't have for 60 games last year. I believe he only played 22, something like that. So he missed like pretty much the whole season. Right. I'm of the opinion that Tari Eason, He was drafted 17, and he comes off the bench. I think he's one of the 5 best players on the team. I don't know how you feel about that, but I don't like. I think respect to Jabari Smith Jr., talented player. I think Tari's, at least last season, I think Tari was better than Jabari.
Okay.
So like we lost one of our best players in my personal opinion, and one of our most impactful players. He's a hybrid defender. Not the most consistent shooter, but he can hit a corner 3 every now and then. Just causes events on defense. Like he rebounds. He just plays winning basketball. And we didn't have him at all last year. So I think bringing him back is one of the things I'm talking about. Where like we should get better internally, just off the strength of having Tari Eason back. And then Cam Whitmore is like, he's interesting to me because he can be, I think he has the talent to be one of the better players, an all-star caliber kind of guy. But he has to, like, more than anybody on this team, he has to figure it out from like an IQ standpoint, because he's like I said, when he's at his best, he's really good. But he's the I don't know if y'all have somebody like this. I'm trying to think, but he's like what Dylan was for y'all in that Warriors series at times. Was that 2 years ago?
Yeah.
Like Cam, that's something that Cam Whitmore would do, where he's like, he'll shoot you out of a game or he'll ball stop you out of a game. And you're like, bro, just swing the pill one good time. And like, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody will be open. So for him, he has to work through that, but he just turned 20. He was, I believe, the youngest player in last year's draft class. So like, it's not the end of the world that at 19, now 20 years old, he has to work through that, but he does. And like, that is one of the reasons why, for me, for as talented as he is, I am hesitant to just crown him like starting whatever, future all-star or whatever, because like that is something that will hold him back if he can't work through it. And that's not something that like anybody can just work through. Now he can do it, and if there's any coach in the NBA who can get him to do it, it is Ime Udoka, but he has to do it before I just put him in those combos. So that's kind of where I'm at with Cam.
Yeah. Well, it's time to get to it, Will. Once again, this is my guy, Will Forson. you can check him out on Twitter. If you go to the Houston Rockets Spaces, it's him. He's the man who's over those. They're off the chain. You can also see him on Bradeaux and Will. That's his podcast, the Bradeaux Will Show. You can check that out. But the question everyone wants to know, man, our native son, Dylan Brooks, a guy who was added to your team. You described the up and down mentality of them to a T. What are your just more in-depth thoughts about Dylan Brooks? I've seen. I think it was you. I heard Randy when I jumped into your space a couple times. So what are your raw thoughts on Dylan the villain?
I think I might have went off. I tried not to.
A couple times I ducked in.
I tried not to like get too down on players in spaces, but I think there was one time where he really pissed me off, and I said something in the space. But I can't remember though. But no, I think Dylan. I think he started the season really, really well. Started the season very under control. He was hitting threes at like some super duper unsustainable clip. Like I think for like a couple of weeks of the season, he was actually leading the league in 3-point percentage. I'm not 100% sure, but he was like really, really high. And then he got hurt in like December or like early January. And then like when he came back from the injury, it was like everything that went wrong with him in Memphis kind of started coming back. And so he was really, really rough to end the season. Like really, like there was points in times where I'm like, look, just sit him on the bench right now. You know what I'm saying? But the problem was we also, like, with injuries and whatnot, we didn't really have nobody to take his spot. But yeah, he was rough. So I like, part of me is like, maybe it's because he was coming off that injury, because the player he was pre-injury and the player he was post-injury are like two different guys. So, maybe he was hurt and that's what the problem was. I guess we'll find out this year. But I guess the good news is though, is that if he does kind of start tripping again, and it's like, because y'all know how it is, if he starts going down that path again, you do have Tari Eason now. You do have Amin Thompson. We haven't even talked about. I'm sky high on Amin. Like I think he's gonna be the best player on this team one day. He can play, a wing position for us now. So like, there's other guys out there who can kind of step up.
All about him. Y'all are deep as shit with these young dudes.
Yeah,
damn.
Yeah, we got all about
him. And Jabari Smith, really. I ain't really mentioned them either.
Yeah.
Y'all got that talent, man. We love Dylan here, man. Dylan was,
I still like him.
Yeah, he was extremely entertaining and nothing else. At the end of the day, basketball is a sport. We're watching this entertainment. We're watching it like a TV show. So if anything, he brought the quotes, he brought the energy, he brought the crazy shit, and he was just Dylan, man. That was our guy. But he was a lunatic. He was also a basketball terrorist, as you know. That's also something he possesses, man. Well, Will, I appreciate you coming on with me, bro, and I wish you guys the best. We got to do this again soon, man, throughout the season. Maybe when we get ready to play you guys, we'll come in and chop it up, man, for sure.
Yeah,
again,
we have
my guy Will Forson, man. My guy Will Forson. Check him out on the Bradeaux Will Show. Also, whenever the Rockets have a game, go to their spaces. He's the moderator of those, holding it down over those things for sure, man. My boy Will Forson is in the building. But Will, I appreciate you coming on with me, man.
Anytime, man. Let me know.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. We're about to take a break. When we come back, it's gonna be more than Anthony the Sain show. We'll see you guys in a minute.
You know, one thing I think that a lot of people, myself included, honestly, have kind of criticized Penny for is just some of the roster and composition from times, right? Like you have last year's roster. It seemed like it made sense. It did, right? I mean, there were pretty solid pieces all surrounding each other. The year before, not really, right? It was just 2 guys and some other guys on a roster. But this year it makes sense.
Now it's like, can you get this team to buy in, play for one another, which the video we watched last week, that's all they want, is to play hard, be recognized as guys that play hard and win basketball games. So they're going to buy in defensively. This might be a pretty daggum good team.
Tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
There have been 2 players since 2008 in the NCAA that have averaged 75% shooting percentage at the rim on 500 shots with a plus minus of plus 10. So that his team is, 10 points better with him on the floor and he shoots 75% at the rim. Those 2 players are Zach Edey and Brandon Clark.
Oh,
we now have elite rim scoring.
Yeah.
And and we did it we did it without having to mortgage the farm. We didn't have to give up a young wing like a Gigi or a Vince and a bunch of picks. And we got a guy that we don't need 30 minutes a night like he was playing in college. We just need somebody to go out there and get us 10, 12 rebounds and follow up John Moran down the lane to get putbacks. That's all we need.
Tune in to The Daily Grind with your host, Lute Hatmaker, every Monday through Friday at 7:30 a.m. live on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. United Way of the Mid-South and 901 FC are teaming up to gather school supplies for students and teachers in Memphis-Shelby County schools. We invite you to join us in our Stuff the Bus initiative. Bring new school supplies to the 901 FC versus San Antonio FC game on Saturday, July 27th at 7:30 p.m. Donate notebooks, pens, pencils, crayons, and much more. Or you can contribute by texting UW Schools to 41444 to make a monetary donation.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Anthony the Sain show. Great interview with my man Will Forson, man. A lot of things to say. Hey, that dude is tight when it comes down to Houston Rockets stuff, man. Like he really knows. You can tell he's still is a fan at heart, but he doesn't really make a lot of emotional. He didn't make a lot of emotional statements.
Hey, if I put a do-rag on, you think I'll do anything in my hair? Like,
I don't know what it ain't gonna hit like my boy Will had that John Doe. That's all I'm gonna say. I don't know what it's gonna look like on you, man, at all.
I should try it. I'm gonna try it.
Yeah, go ahead. Next
episode. Next episode.
Yeah, next time. Yeah, next show. Next Wednesday. But yeah, shout out to my man Will Forson, man. Check him out, man. Check him out. Go in their spaces. I go in there John incognito all the time. hiding that I'm in their joint because I don't want to be. Hey, it's a Grizzly fan in here.
Has any of the New Zealanders gone over there to the Rocket spaces yet?
I don't know, man. When I was in there, they got Steven Adams, but he wasn't playing. But I'm gonna be watching y'all ass when it come down to
I'm gonna get in there and flame Funaki if he's in there, bro. I mean, I thought he was with us, man.
Hey, they ain't like us, bro. They
not like us.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you something I found out today, bro.
What's that?
Not today, but the other day. Like New Zealand and the Samoan Islands are like really close to each other. Close to each other on the map.
Yeah.
I ain't know that.
Yeah.
Cause both of them do like the Haka stuff, right?
Yeah, the Haka stuff. Yep.
Yeah, man. I ain't know that, man. I ain't know that. But the 3-pointer, man. We're gonna talk about 3 things going on in the world of sports. Number 1, we're gonna talk about WNBA news. There was a time, Kenny Stubblefield.
There was a time.
argument. You can have a good argument about Angel Reese and And Caitlin Clark, it was looking like Magic versus Bird. You know what I mean? Not that Angel Reese ever had any type of guard skill. But yeah, there was a time where, it looked like it was going to be a close race. Those times are over. Caitlin Clark been going crazy out here. She's been going crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, she will be your WNBA Rookie of the Year. My boy John Martin declared it today on the radio. It was hilarious.
What did he say?
Oh, he was just like, the audacity, the thing she wouldn't be in. This woman is women's basketball. And why is she not in the Olympics? He went back on. John Martin was going in today, bro. Then he said, I'm doing this, but Jason Smith, you're gonna get it tomorrow when you come back too. I was like, damn, that man was going in. But yeah, Caitlin Clark, salute to you. You will be the WNBA Rookie of the Year. It was a nice run by my girl Angel for a minute.
Hey, here's what's gonna bother me is like you were kind of in your in your Twitter and your X, you were kind of having some conversations about that, and folks were like calling you out for saying, how could you even not choose Caitlin Clark? In that moment, there was an argument, but now everybody's gonna come back.
Crazy. Everybody's gonna she's scoring 20-some points a game. She's gonna end up averaging 20 points a game on the season.
Yeah.
It ain't gonna be nothing to even talk about.
I mean, dog, she's 17.1 points per game, 5 rebounds, 8 assists, 1.5 steals. I mean, come on.
Yeah, that 17.1 gonna be 20 by the time it's all.
Yeah, it's going
because she got a good 30-40 point game in her, bro. That's them type of games are coming for her. You know what I mean? She's got that kind of skill. And my thing was, I told people I was a little disappointed about how her season was looking because I thought she would be having some monster games like that, and we weren't really seeing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but yeah, they coming. She got her bearings now. They coming.
Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 out of her last 9 games, she's had double-digit assists in 7 of her last 9 games.
What about points?
Points has been the lowest she had is 13 in one game, but she's had 29, 24, 20, 19, 18. I mean, she
gonna mess around and get that jump up to 20.
Yeah, she will.
But yeah, shout out to her. But I'm gonna tell you why I'm a little upset though, Kenny. So
yeah, man, I'm kind of upset too.
It's some bullshit, bro.
It is.
The 3-point contest was announced. The participants.
I don't understand it, man.
And I ain't see CC. I ain't see
Sabrina.
Ionescu. I ain't see none of them, bro. So I said, what are y'all doing? How y'all lead them out? They said Mama said the wrong word. They said folks in declined the invite, bro.
It's different because it's like, when do you hear about in the NBA? You hear about like
the slam dunk contest.
The slam dunk contest. Ja's turned it down every year. LeBron has turned it down every year. Zion has turned it down every year. That's kind of a normal thing. The NBA 3-point shooting contest has the best shooters every single year. And
why are they not participating in this?
I don't know.
That's kind of crazy.
I don't know.
They might got something going on because they both Nike too, right?
So I'm wondering if, like, you remember when they did Sabrina and Steph in the last All-Star game? I'm wondering if they're going to do a Caitlin Sabrina like 1v1 kind of deal
in the men's in the MNBA All-Star game.
But see, here's the thing:
that should be. That's what they about to do. I ain't even think about that. That's what they about to do. Damn this stuff.
But I feel you. But the NBA doesn't need any help for their All-Star game, man. Like the WNBA could. I mean, like, listen, man. It is clear the talent level has gone skyrocket this year. The level of notoriety, the people that are watching, it is crazy. Like, capitalize on that, man. Take this the WNBA All-Star game and turn it into some like spectacle, man. Like, because I can guarantee you, if you tell me the WNBA 3-point shooting contest has Sabrina and Caitlin Clark in it, that would probably be one of the most highly watched things in both All-Star games, right?
Yeah.
Like,
but I guess they feel like the regular All-Star game, it might get more eyes on it. I don't know. We just speculating. So
we're speculating.
They just might not want to do that, mother. So.
They might not want to, which doesn't make any sense to me, man. Like,
man, I don't get that part at all, though. If that's the case, I do not get it. I do not get it at all. I do not get it at all. Yeah, got some good news, Kenny. I'm gonna be on my bullshit. Just know that. Just know that.
I hear what it is. I think I know what it is.
Yeah, y'all know what it is, bro. I'm putting a tweet out, man.
Yeah.
You gotta talk your ass off now. Please.
Talk your ass off.
Because y'all have been.
Did the Grizzlies come out and did they finally shut him down for the summer league? Did they finally stop Nathan Chester? Did they finally stop bullshitting everybody all the time? Like the most egregious
How you spell
organization.
conspiratizing? Conspiratizing. I know that's not a word.
Conspiratizing. CONSPIR. Conspiri. Tizing. TIZING. Conspiratizing. Man, I probably F.
Yeah, that'll work. That'll work. Anyway, number 2, goddammit, you bitches. Zach Edey playing tonight. I gotta wrap this shit up, kid. Hey, we gotta get up out of here.
Hey, it's 4:34. We gotta go.
Hey, I gotta go. Zach Edey is playing tonight, you hoes. To all you, the Nate Chesters of the world. Who else? I ain't gonna say no name. I'm trying to dodge. I'm a new me, man. I'm trying to dodge the smoke, man. But no, y'all been out there crying and the Grizzlies this and this, and man, you need to just be straightforward, man.
Straightforward, man.
Man, hold on, let me tell you about this. Yeah, goofy ass. I don't know this dude, a Purdue fan. I don't know who this dude was, but just somebody just. I said, bro, I DM'd the man. I said, family, you do not know what you're talking because he said that the Grizzlies are they asked him not to go play for Canada, right? Like they stopped
100% not true.
I said, bro, that's not true at all, bro. Like, why would you even say something? Why would you even think something like that? Like, bro, we had Jaren Jackson Jr., who's had injuries every offseason. His first offseason, he didn't have an injury. Well, he could have been really working on his game as an individual. He went and played in the Olympics, and the Grizzlies didn't say nothing about it. He played in the FIBA game.
Yeah, FIBA
They didn't say
World
nothing
Cup.
about it. Santi Aldama is gone every time. And nobody's ever said anything about it. Dylan Brooks. I mean, what are you talking about? But you know what kind of accusation that is? That we told him, hey, no, you can't go play for Canada. Man,
That's
get
crazy.
the hell out of here.
You don't think that if they said that, if they did that, that wouldn't be out already?
Right. And then he was like, well, they had a meeting, right? And before the meeting, Edey was talking all the stuff about he wants to play for Team Canada and the draft workouts and all that. Then he has a meeting with the Grizzlies, then he come out and say he don't want to play. Maybe because he had an awesome fucking damn meeting. Maybe because he thought he was gonna get picked at 20 and he went at 9. Like, damn, y'all gonna start me? Oh shit, I'm hyped. Matter of fact,
I'm gonna start
Canada.
I'm gonna start for the outside of one injury riddled season, the number 2 team in the West.
Hell yeah,
with freaking Ja Morant.
I think I'm gonna bullshit with goddamn Dylan Brooks and some other eating motherfucking shit. Hey, I'm out.
Hey man,
I don't even eat that shit.
Crazy, dude, crazy.
But this is what the man was conspiratizing, man. I said, fam, unless you got a source, be quiet, man. He got quiet. Of course, he started sending me clips of Edey saying he was playing in the Olympics. Okay, he changed his mind, fam.
I saw that where somebody posted a video saying, "Look at his facial expression." Are you kidding me right now?
Here's the thing. But if he had played every game of the summer league and was scoring 30 and 20 and led the Grizzlies to a summer league championship victory, that shit's still dumb. If you talk about compared to going and playing the Olympics for his own personal whatever,
right.
But it got some sense to it. Some of the stuff got some sense to it because he gets to meet the coaching staff, he gets to meet the player, he gets to see, Jaren and them are there at summer league. Right. I'm noticing something. I'm gonna talk to you about this off the air too. But those guys are there. Bain, Coach Jenkins is there. They're having practice. He's been practicing with the guys. He's kind of learning how the Grizzlies do things, kind of learning how to be a different type of big than he was in college. Right. So there are benefits to him being here. But it ain't like it still would have been a stupid decision for him not to go play for Canada, even if he was playing every game.
Right.
But the dude got hurt, and now he's back. So shut y'all weak ass up. Shut y'all bitch ass up, man. Damn.
I love it. It's conspiratizing, man. Come on, man.
Stupid, bro. We watched the dude get hurt. We watched the ankle injury, bro. And
a 7'4", 300-pounder rolled his ankle.
Rolled his ankle. We watched it happen. There's no reason to bring that dude back early unless he's ready to go, unless he's 100. And it's been about 10 days
for a damn summer league.
Yeah, an ankle injury is 7 to 14 days.
I hurt my back. I hurt my back lifting weights 2 weeks ago, Anthony.
And you ain't 7 foot 4.
And I still ain't right, bro.
You ain't the starting center for the Memphis Grizzlies.
And
fans are so weird, man. I understand the PTSD stuff, but I don't. It's because everything ain't that, bro. Like, damn.
It's weirdo fans,
it's so goofball, man. Bro. It's just like Steven. It's not like Steven Adams, bro. Steven Adams tore his fucking knee up. Yeah. And they said, he's gonna be out for about 3 to 4 months. Like it ain't like it's some phantom injury we didn't see, or they're saying like some weird stuff. They said he has a sore ankle from the ankle injury you motherfuckers saw last week. It's so crazy, bro.
So crazy.
It's just like, what are we talking about? And if they might just go and say shut him down. Why? They literally said they're going to play him before the summer league is over.
Right. They've been saying it. Damn, he's going to play. He's just not playing today. He's going to play.
I'm done with it, man. I'm done. I hope
he's
y'all
back.
enjoy the game. I'm trying to hurry the fuck up so I can go watch the game. Kenny, tell us about the Tiger basketball schedule. I ain't seen it. Tell us about it.
Yeah, Tiger basketball conference schedule released today.
The conference schedule,
the non-con's been released. It's going to be a tough schedule once again, but yeah, man.
Who we got at the crib? Good games.
Good games at the crib.
The Rice revenge game.
The Rice revenge game. We got FAU's going to be back.
Bring it. Y'all ain't FAU no more. Y'all just
UAB's coming to Memphis, and I like that. But it's going to be a home and away, obviously. But UAB's coming back to Memphis, and I think that UAB's going to be tough. They got a good team. But again, this conference is bullshit. So
yeah, Ken, send in my media credential. I'm gonna be in that motherfucker.
Are you? Oh shit!
Send in my goddamn media credential. I'm a legend.
Hey, some folks up out of there, so maybe we might be able to get you one today.
Hey, I'm gonna get some folks about it. Hey, you get the up out of here, man.
There's some folks at Memphis that are up out of there that we might be able to get you one now.
Penny, Ed Scott. Yeah, I can't whistle. Woo.
Woody woo!
Yeah. Let me in this jump. I'm gonna hit up my boy, man. I forgot his name, man. Shit. I'm saying, man, tell Penny get me in that motherfucker, man. What's my boy name? We interviewed him a few weeks ago, man. He did the Penny interview.
Oh, Marcus Taylor.
Marcus Taylor, but I'm tripping. Yeah. Better call Marcus, man. Get me in that mother. But yeah. Yeah, Penny, yeah. Man, hey, why y'all hating on Penny though? Y'all making all y'all folks in the Discord making all you getting your shit off, getting your jokes out about Penny. Oh, Penny's candles. Yeah. Tell them about that shit, Ken.
Hey. So the Olympics are starting in 2 weeks, bro. And guess what? So all the United States athletes are coming to the Olympic Village, and they're being greeted by the Olympic Committee with a gift. And there's like 6 things in that gift box. Guess what one of them is going to be? Tigers and Tap broke this. Tigers and Tap talked about this. Parth from the Daily Memphian talked about this.
Yeah, Parth, why you make that a breaking news? You want to interview, you know what I'm saying, walk-ons and shit. Why you ain't blowing up the camera story? I mean, all your ass, Parth.
Penny has some candles with a company called 1122 Candles or 1122 Candles, whatever it's called. They're gonna be in that gift box, and he has a letter written in there for him. It's so freaking dope, dude. Like I was telling the guys from Tigers and Tap this,
fellow Olympian Penny Hardaway. Man.
I was talking to the Tigers and Tap guys about this, and it's like, man, we get so used to like having Penny in Memphis, and he's here, and he's the head coach, and we get to sit and talk with them and all this kind of stuff. And then sometimes you just forget who Penny Hardaway is. Yeah. He's got damn candles in the damn gift box for Olympic athletes. That's crazy. That's crazy.
Hey, I gotta get that. I gotta give me one of them candles, bro.
Really. We do. We're gonna get some blessed in media.
What's the smell, bro?
I don't know.
Favorite oils or something.
I listen.
You gotta look. See, man. You see it?
Yeah, we candle. We're candle people over here. I got one lit right here.
I got the diffuser. Hold on. I got the diffuser for you losers.
Have you seen it? The candle has the Penny Hardaway penny on it with his face. So dope, dude.
I don't need Penny face now. I burned the logo. I ain't gonna burn another dude face in my. No, I'm straight on it.
Nah, it's dope.
You lost me on them. It got the logo though, right?
It's the. I wish I could bring it up on here, but it's
turn that jump backwards.
Yeah, you know that sign that they have with the penny with his face profile.
Yeah. It's the penny jump. Oh, okay.
The penny jump. That's what.
Still the same thing. Still the same thing. I don't know. We'll see, bro. We'll see. I'm out of grad that jump.
We got to.
But yeah, that's our 3, man. I told y'all, monkey ass. Zach Edey was gonna play and calm y'all ass down, bro. You see it. Y'all see it.
Conspiratizing.
So I'm gonna spend the rest of this time, the next 17 minutes, on y'all ass before the game starts. On Twitter. We're gonna go and take this break. We're gonna come back with Inside the Same Brain. And we're gonna wrap this shut up, man.
And then we're gonna go watch Zach Edey dominate.
We're gonna go watch Zach Edey, y'all.
By the way,
guys, gonna break you motherfuckers.
Let me hold on before we do that. Did you see Alex Sarr the other day?
Sorry, than a mother.
0 for 15, bro.
Alex, sorry.
Over sorry.
Bro, Zach Edey. Now Reed Shepard finna be cold now. Houston, I think they're gonna play him kind of wrong. I don't think they're gonna let that man get the burn he need. Zach Edey finna be Rookie of the Year, bro. Talk your ass off, bro. Free money, go get it, man.
Free money. Let's take a break.
When you had to deal with the media How were you in your career? Were you easy to deal with?
The word that was thrown around for me in a lot of corners was media darling.
Really?
I think I was the guy.
I don't think that's true. Is that true?
Michael Wallace refuses to. He never lets me live down. When he called me during a free agent summer, and he was working in Miami, called me on my phone during the summertime. And he's like, the first thing he said to me was, "Well, how'd you get my number?" I pretty much told him if he wanted anything to talk to my agent, but I was pretty short with him. His recollection. I could have been losing a bet on the golf course at that point in time, and he was talking to me about was I going to Miami or not? And I had no idea where I was going.
Tune in to the Night Court podcast with your hosts Rob Fisher and Brevin Knight on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel.
We had just heard that it was, all these guys with direct Memphis ties. They've been here before, etc. And it's like, come on. Like, damn, it seems like we just hired this whole search firm and all they're doing is going with the guy where they've
recycling the guys,
met their kid. Like, it's a personal thing.
It's easy to hire people that you know. In all aspects of life, it's not really anymore like what you know, it's who you know. When Ed Scott was announced, my initial thought was, this guy must have been hella impressive in his interviews. It is them basically saying, we believe so much in what you are saying that we're going to jump out and take a leap of faith here. And then I heard his press conference. TJ.
Yeah, I mean, this dude, I saw tweets, people like, I'm about to run through a wall for this guy. I never even met him. Like,
tune in to Tigers Untapped with TJ Willis and Trey Lasley every Wednesday at 3 p.m. on the Bluff City Media YouTube channel. United Way of the Mid-South and 901 FC are teaming up to gather school supplies for students and teachers in Memphis Shelby County schools. We invite you to join us in our Stuff the Bus initiative. Bring new school supplies to the 901 FC versus San Antonio FC game on Saturday, July 27th at 7:30 p.m. Donate notebooks, pens, pencils, crayons, and much more. Or you can contribute by texting UW Schools to 41444 to make a monetary donation.
All right, y'all. Welcome back to the Nathan the Sain Show, man. It's time for the Inside the Same Brain. Well, I talk about something that's on a brother of mine, Kenny Stubblefield.
I know what's on your mind. You've been getting your shit off, haven't you? A little bit. During a break, you've been getting your shit off a little bit.
Yeah, these folks piss me off, bro. I updated my tweets, man. People just I don't know, man. It's some kind of little weird, like, negativity is super cool culture within Grizz Twitter, man. But I don't know what this is, and it's like you have to like really talk like Zach Kleiman and them don't know what they're doing, and I'm like, bro, y'all dudes must came around yesterday. Ain't no way in the hell y'all seen the stuff I done seen with this organization.
That's the part that makes me laugh, right? It's like they like disregard what this front office is doing when we've been through the
bro. This team did not have a real rebuild. That's something I've never talked about on Twitter, bro. Like, it's probably these people who this new Zach Kleiman, this terrible thing. This version of the Memphis Grizzlies did not have a rebuild, bro. No. They went from being bad the year they got Ja to a play-in team and then playoffs ever since then, except for last year when everybody got hurt. And that don't happen. You can't do that with a stupid GM. Like, that just don't happen, bro.
No.
This team, they did not have a true rebuild at all. But that ain't what I want to talk about. I'm tired of talking about this shit. Believe what you want to believe. Conspiracy. The sky is falling, whatever you want to do. But today, Kenny Stubblefield, we're going to talk about nasal irrigation.
Nasal. Hold on. I need to change that. That's better. I put nasal rinse. No, we're going to do nasal
irrigation.
Irrigation. Perfect.
Kenny, I have really bad allergy sinus problems, right? And I was introduced to a neti pot, which is basically like a little thing that looks like a little teapot. You fill it up with saline water and you pour it in your nose and you blow your nose out. Thought it was pretty cool. I was like, oh, that's pretty cool, right? That's pretty cool. That's how I wanted this to get better, right? more, right? So I bought something that was a neti pump. It's like a squeeze bottle.
Jesus.
It's like a squeeze bottle. It's the same concept though, but it pushes the water up your nose a little harder, right? It's like, oh, okay, that's even doper. And Kenny, I said, I wonder, is there more, right? I saw this commercial for this thing called the Navage something, sinus nasal irrigation system or something, right?
Right.
And I said, that looks effing awesome. And basically, it's a device where you put saline water in it.
Yeah.
It blows the saline water up your nose, drains it, and it vacuums like a motor in it. Vacuum sucks it out the other side. So it's a train of water going. You're getting the train ran on your nose. So the train of water goes up, it gets sucked out, right? Pause. All right. So
big pause.
And then it drops the water. It drops the product from your nose in a reservoir in the bottom, Kenny Stubblefield. And when I say that this thing is a marvel, I can tell you that it is because I own one, Kenny Stubblefield.
Let's go.
I found one of these at a good price online. I purchased it. It might be the dopest thing ever. And it allows you to see the gunk, Kenny Stubblefield. It's at the bottom of your shit.
When's the last time you cleaned that thing out?
That's just that's discoloration, brother. That is not
okay.
Discoloration. Because I rinsed it with extremely hot water. And it's made out of plastic, so you know how it starts to fade. Don't do all that, bro. There ain't no gunked up snot in them.
My bad.
That'd be nasty. It turned my stomach thinking about this. No, man. That single device, Kenny Stubblefield, has been a life changer.
Yes.
I will endorse it for those of you who have. It is kind of, we're in the summertime now, but when the fall and the spring come back around, it's an amazing device. Kenny, I tell you, Kenny, get you right, man. It'll get your mind right, Kenny. To get your sinuses.
Will it make you have good Grizzlies takes? That's the question.
Great. Yeah, some of y'all need to use this motherfucker for more reasons than one. Get your shit cleared out, man, for real.
So you start having some good takes.
Yeah. You won't sound like an imbecile. You can say things like you won't have to say things like no. I don't know. I don't know what they need to do, but I don't know, man. But I don't know. But yeah, you keep your brain rinsed out, man, so you won't say dumb shit.
That's right.
Before I had one of these, man, I was on Facebook. That's all the place I had to talk about. Yeah, but then I started using this.
Then you started taking it to the streets, man.
I went to the God level of wisdom.
That's when
hey, bro, I've been on my shit this offseason right here, bro.
Yeah.
Pat my own back. I'm gonna pat my own self on the back, bro. I really been an international savior to the masses for y'all mothers out here, bro. For real. Intellectual savior to the masses.
Assistant coach news.
Broke that shit. Told y'all this shit was coming.
What else? Zach, you been on the Zach? No,
I ain't been on the Zach.
You were off the Zach Edey for a little bit, but that was
a train I was never on though. The people was on that Devin Carter train, man. Get your freaking looking, man. Hell no, man. I'm straight.
Hey, you know who I wasn't a big fan of until I've seen him in the summer league, and I don't know what it's going to look like transition wise into the NBA.
Come on,
that Tristan Da Silva kid.
Yeah, he hoop.
Ooh,
yeah, he hoop.
Yeah,
we got that ass about that though.
Yep.
Flush his ass about it like this snot in this reservoir.
Let's go.
Reservoir dog, you.
Reservoir dog. What a great movie, by the way. I don't know if you've seen that.
Never seen it.
Yeah.
Never seen it. Never seen it.
Hey, man, let's go watch some basketball, man.
Man, that's what I'm saying. Game for the come on. Hey, we'll see y'all, bro. Hey, go enjoy the game, bro. You're 2024-25.
Rookie of the year, baby.
Rookie of the year. Zach Edey, been that bitch. Told y'all. It's going down. But we'll for Kenny Stubblefield, for my man Will Forson, for my boy Perry Sharkey, who off today at the house kicking it, man, for to watch the game. I'm about to do the same. I'm about to put me some pizza in the air fryer, man. Y'all already know what's going down. Y'all already know what's going down, man. But yeah, we'll see y'all next time, bro. And we out.
Thank you for listening to the Anthony Sain Show. If you enjoyed this episode, leave a rating and a review wherever you download your podcasts. Also, like and subscribe to Bluff City Media's YouTube page. For comprehensive coverage of Memphis sports, head over to www.bluffcitymedia.co and find out how you can become an insider. We will see you back here next week.